Happy Sunday, people. Happy
You're
Sunday.
listening to this live
Live from the
from the
White
O2.
House. No, I'm just kidding. It's not the White House. I mean, my house is white, but not the White House. Hi, everyone. So today we have special little recording. It's going to be a shorter one. Hope you guys will enjoy it. We're going to talk Gate of Nightmares and who is actually the mangaka. Because a lot of people are saying that it's Hiramashima. Spoiler alert, it isn't. And we're also going to talk Eden Zero. So, with that out of the way, King, Marissa, Dev, how have you guys been?
Good,
Yeah,
good.
pretty chill, I guess.
Cool, cool, cool. Now, little fun question for you guys. What's your favorite holiday movie?
Favorite holiday movie?
Yeah.
Polar Express.
Yeah, it's such a kid answer. You're right. Very specific.
Yeah. I feel like that movie's
Uh,
older than she is.
It is, I think.
Oh god. I don't know when it came out, but alright. Favorite movie?
Older than me by a year.
Damn.
I can't think of any particular holiday movie that I like too much. I mean, I enjoy, Nightmare Before Christmas, Halloween Town, and stuff like that. But yeah, I've never been like huge necessarily on holiday movies. I guess. Well, actually, there was a stop motion one that I liked was when I was a kid. I think it was called "The Year Without a Santa Claus." I thought that one was
Oh,
good as a kid,
okay. Dev?
mainly because like the
Um,
two, like the Fire and Ice brothers, are pretty fucking funny.
All right. Cool, cool, cool.
Same. See, I don't really watch. So where I at home, my house, I don't have access to regular TV. Right. So if for those of you who don't know, in the UK you've got to have a TV license, which is basically daylight robbery, because the BBC don't have adverts. So the way they fund it is through the TV license. So you're paying a TV license in order to not have adverts on the BBC channel, which no one fucking cares about. But it's a thing. So if you have access to watching the BBC, you have to have a TV license. Now, at the risk of incriminating myself, I have not had a TV license for about 5 or 6 years. A lot of people don't realize you don't actually have to have one. You're meant to have one, but if they come to your house and they try and talk shit, you can just be like, no, because it's not actually the government. It's actually a private company that is doing that. So if they say, oh, we want to have a look in your house, you can tell them to fuck off and they need a warrant. And then they won't spend the money or time to go do that because the fine is not worth it.
All right.
So TV-wise, I don't really watch a lot anyway. When I'm at my dad's, we occasionally, whatever comes on is what kind of gets watched. And we've got the little kids there as well, so we can't necessarily, we kind of got to be careful what we watch. I do always enjoy watching Elf when it comes on, but I never pay attention to it because I've seen it so many times. But it's one that I like having on in the background.
It's fucking hilarious.
Because every time, no matter what the scene is, whenever you tune back into it, it's going to be a scene that's going to end up quite funny.
The present for that special someone.
So, like, that's a film that I like to always have on at least once in the background because, like I said, you can, no matter what point of the film you tune in, it's going to be a chuckle. But yeah, typically, my family, we don't really watch too many movies around the Christmas time because we also just play a lot of games, play a lot of card games, poker, and all of that. Occasionally Monopoly, but that stopped a few years ago because people couldn't handle losing. So, yeah.
Oh, fucking Alpha is a great fucking.
It is a great film. It is timeless.
I love Alf and I love Jingle All the Way. I'm probably dating myself with the Jingle All the Way because it's Arnold Schwarzenegger and who's the
It
mom?
is a good film.
Oh, it's great. I think it's a kid who plays Anakin too. Such a great film, and it was one of the first movies that I know of that had an after credit scene. So that is my answer. We will. Oh, and they have Funko Pop of Jingle All the Way. Nice. Oh, and they had Sinbad in it, which was great. Rita Wilson, Jake Lloyd. It was just a great fucking movie overall. There's no way in how that movie gets made today, especially with the bomb joke on the presents.
Definitely not.
So, yeah, that's my answer. So we're gonna start off with EDENSZERO because we don't want to leave King out of the Gate of Nightmares discussion, and it just flows better. Dev, I'll let you do the honors because I have no idea what chapter we're on for EDENSZERO.
Chapter 171, Wonder in Space. Really, really cute cover page of Neko, Rebecca, in a little chibi form with Happy as well, which actually looks like it's her. That's her BQ page. Not a lot happened in it. This is more of a chapter just to say, okay, this is where we are now after the time skip. This is how everyone's feeling, and this is kind of, setting up ready to start going until the very end, when good old Captain Connor appears again. This motherfucker always appears at a most random time. Now,
Do you feel it? I'm sorry. Do you feel it's random though?
I don't necessarily mean random for us. For us as readers, it's not random, but in the world, it is a really random occurrence. Every time he's appeared, it's kind of just it's always been a bit of a shock every time he's appeared. As for a reader, we can kind of see, okay, he's here because obviously now we've got something going to happen. What is going to be some plot point that's going to evolve from this? Because this motherfucker's every time he appears, something happens. Now, what's interesting about this one is that no one remembers him apart from Rebecca, and Rebecca's obviously saying he's a traitor, blah 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 blah. Now, we haven't jumped world timelines. We're still in world 30, which is the interesting part. And in world 30, he is part of Ziggy's team. And everyone has met Connor in world 30, but for some reason, no one remembers him except for Rebecca.
I think something happened in the chapter that made them forget about him.
But what?
Remember, it's so long ago.
I don't think anything, because it feels like we've jumped timelines again.
It does feel like we jumped timelines. Or maybe it's been so long that they forgot because when they saw him, he was with Ziggy and they were flying away with the 4 Dark Stars. So maybe they're just like,
Yeah, they might have just put him off as just a random, like the random pilot, not someone necessarily of note. Now, to all of you Couch Bro haters, all right,
suck a dick.
let's be real. We all know the reason why you hate her. It's because she's fat, all right, and she's not fat serviceable to you, all right. And it's okay if that's how you feel. You're a piece of shit, but that's okay.
It's okay. No, yeah.
If that's how you feel, that's how you feel, right? But she ain't useless. All right, so all you motherfuckers, oh, she's useless and should die. We didn't, number one, first of all, we didn't have Couch Pro, right? Rebecca would still be a shitty BQber with next to no subscribers and be useless at it. All right. Secondly, the team wouldn't be as grounded as they are without her. She is the normality to them.
She really is.
Stop shitting on our girl Couch Pro just because she's better than you at everything else. All right, just because she gets more love than you do. Okay, it's okay.
She literally does. She got like she got nearly 6 million subscribers.
Exactly. Just because you're jealous, it's okay that your mother didn't love you, and that your father called you fat while you're growing up. It's okay. All right. The chapter was nice.
Yeah.
I'm liking this little. I call it the aftermath arc. Between the war and, well, whatever the fuck's gonna happen now. It's quite nice. It's a relaxing. It's a little reminder that the team is still together and everyone's there, and they've also now got a couple new people in the ship that seem to be there permanently. So it's been enjoyable. It's been nice. Like, I won't call it filler because obviously not filler, but nice little
slice of life.
Slice of life. That's it. So
yeah,
So for me, I liked it a lot.
I kind of like that we have Clean, Laguna, and Jin as members of the EDENSZERO crew. And I think they also addressed Couchbo as the ultra popular beekeeper who is part of the EDENSZERO crew. Sorry guys. Sorry to disappoint you. So yeah, it's nice. We're getting a lot of we're seeing how they all interact after the fact and how after everything's happened and how they're trying to just move forward but still remembering what happened, right? We see Shiki in the I wouldn't say control room where we have Witch's helmet
I'd say it's the control room. Yeah,
and now he says he is the sword and its shield. So
that's foreshadowing
that's
something I do not like.
it is super foreshadowing and I will go to Japan and slap the shit out of Mashima if he does something.
Actually, you heard us. We know you watch this podcast.
So then what's
Yeah.
Hamura now?
What's the what?
Whatever.
Because didn't Hamura said that she was gonna like take over a sword?
She still is. I think what Shiki just means is he out of like the Ziggy lot, he's kind of, he's the one with him being the captain and the Demon King. I think he's more not being a literal sense. It's just more of a he'll avenge and make her proud.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, that's what I got off of it. But yeah, overall great chapter. There's a lot of they were all the girls. There was a lot of fan service, so that's kind of interesting. Yeah, Captain Connor arriving again is kind of sus. I fully expect Ziggy to be nearby and try to start some shit again. And Marissa, what did you think of the chapter?
it was like a catch up chapter. And then Connor at the
catch-up?
end.
A catch up?
You know, like catch up.
Oh,
So yeah.
fair enough. What would you get? What would you give the chapter, Marissa?
Like a 6. I don't
A
really care for it.
Damn, harsh. I know Dad gave it a 10 because of titties. Dad, can you confirm?
Yeah, sure, why not?
What would you actually give the chapter?
Probably a 9, a strong 9, just because it's given us everything that we want. From this kind of slice of life aspect of it, and it's nice to see more of the crew. And their older designs. We've got Jin looking out here, looking like a fucking homeless dude, with his long ass hair. But it's nice to see that everyone's still there and that the people who were on the ship during that war haven't left. So it's kind of like they've found solace in each other to move on with, help each other move on. Connor turning up. I don't dislike the character of Connor. I just don't care for the character. So whenever I get excited for him and then I see Connor's back, I'm like, oh, this fucking guy.
Yeah, yeah. Because every time he's shown up, shit has happened. The first time he showed up was before Dragon Joe's fight, and then Shiki bit the head, or took a bullet to the head. Fuck, I couldn't even say that shit right. Took a bullet to the head. Then when he showed up again, Ziggy just dicked around.
Ziggy.
Yeah.
So now this time. And this time, fucking hell. Both times he turned up has been a death. Fuck, here we go. Here we go again.
Alright, I nominate Hermit.
Oh, whoa. Shut your goddamn mouth. Alright, otherwise, I'm gonna start taking the tamales away from you, bruv.
Yo.
Nominating fucking Hermit, bruv.
That's
the
a hate
Weiss
crime.
can go, bruv. Good.
Fair. Actually, yeah,
fucking go.
Weiss. Because I don't know how to say his name. Weiss. He could go. Yeah, that's
We don't need him. We got Hermit. There we go.
That's fucking hilarious.
Fucking.
And I kind of like how they showed the height of all the characters. without like showing the height because they showed that Hermit's still short as shit. But before she was a little closer to height to both Shiki and Whis engine.
Can we
But
appreciate Pino's redesign?
I actually don't like it.
You don't? I actually really like it quite a lot.
She looks more human to me.
That's why I kind of like it. She looks a lot more natural than robotic because her wish is to become, well, to, not necessarily become human, but she wants to have a heart and all of that. I really like that redesign because it's in line with everyone being older, but it's also in line with it as if when she. I'm making the assumption that all the robots got picked apart and rebuilt to look older. It's kind of as if when everyone, I'm assuming it's Weiss and Hermit that probably did it because they're the geniuses when it comes to building and designing. I can imagine they kind of did that on purpose to try and give her that look so that she starts to feel like her wish is coming true.
Yeah, fair enough. True.
She's like a little teenager. She's like 12, 13 years old right now. It's adorable.
Yeah, she looks older, like visibly older. So I think
don't
that's good.
I didn't like the original design she had because she looked very Jenny the Teenage Robot. And I like the previous one we had, but I kind of get what he's going with. Like you said, he's trying to give her the more human look, and he's gonna at the end of the series, he's gonna be like, at the end of the day, I always had a heart. It doesn't matter that my insides or
Well,
android
that's if
based.
she makes it to the end.
Pino's gonna make it to the end. She's a mascot. Hermit, on the other hand, I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
So Dab gave it a 9. Marissa gave it a 6. I'll give it an 8. No, I'll give it a 9. I liked it. I'll give it a 10 if I combine it with last chapter. But that was the discussion for EDENSZERO. Now on to are we doing?
Do get a nightmares?
Okay, so we're doing both podcasts or both episodes in one go.
Yeah, both chapters. Yeah, we'll do both chapters.
Okay, and now we're talking Get a Nightmares. The wonderful people over at Sorcerer Weekly have translated the first 2 chapters that came out. The series, so there is a mistake that needs to be corrected. Matsuka Yoshinori, he is the actual author of the series. It is not Mashima. That is a mistake that will be addressed momentarily. David, you want to give him like a quick little background on Kid of Nightmares?
So, Get a Nightmares is a game that's released in Japan with Square Enix. Mashima does the character designs and the world, basically. That's what he designs. Now, we don't have any confirmation on whether or not he's got any say in any kind of story. However, knowing Mashima, he likes to be involved. And with the experience that he has and the success that he has, there's no reason to doubt that Square Enix didn't ask for his input. So we can assume that has happened, but obviously that's not entirely confirmed. So just take it a bit with a grain of salt. However, there are aspects, I think, which throughout the manga we will probably see what might feel like a Mashima-esque kind of storytelling. Now, the idea behind the story is it's a fantasy world where dreams of people come together and they're pouring out into reality itself. There are good dreams, but there are also nightmares, and those nightmares obviously breed fears, and those fears turn into real monsters. And you get people called Nightwalkers, who basically either defeat or tame these nightmares, these monsters. And some of them fight alongside of them, and some of them are just there to destroy, the evil ones, the bad nightmares.
It's basically Pokemon in a medieval setting.
Yeah,
in a medieval setting, but also with like more
Swords
emphasis on good and evil and generic stuff like that. It's not quite as young as the Pokemon demographic, but the concept is not similar. I guess maybe Digimon might be a closer comparison.
True, the better series, you're right.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, 100% the better series.
I said what I said.
Anime wise.
I said what I said. I agree 1000%. Yeah. So Yeah, like we said, it's a series based off Mashima and Square Enix's work, being done by, I'm sorry if I mispronounced his name, Matsuka Yoshinori, and then it says Furuwaka and Kesen no Kuon. Those are the manga he worked with. Again, I do apologize if I butchered them. So, the first chapter, what did we think? King, you could go first.
I was pretty unimpressed, if I'm being 100% honest. I thought it felt very rushed. I thought that the whole villain reveal, this was where, like, a Pokemon comparison is most apt, because they literally kind of just team rocketed the whole thing. It's like, oh, we're secretly evil and shit. And, like, I mean, you didn't really do a great job of, like, foreshadowing it. It doesn't really seem like it's that big of a betrayal. Like, how long did they even know this girl that it would be, like, such a shock to them? That shock to her, rather. And the whole fairy story, like, oh, like, my parents died and then I found the fairy, now I'm happy. It's like, it literally got over in like 3 panels. I'm like, that's like the shortest backstory I've ever seen for a main character. I mean, I imagine they would probably expand on it, and the game probably does. But, like, dude, that was like the most rushed job I've ever seen in my life. And it was just, I just don't give two shits about these characters. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know, I just found the whole thing to be relatively uneventful, pretty boring, not very compelling. The art was fine, I guess, but even this looks a little bit childish, if I'm being honest. Though it is still well drawn. So yeah, thoroughly unimpressed with this first chapter.
Damn. All right, Marissa.
I don't. There's something off about the art style, but I can't tell what. Like, it's good, but it's so.
I'll tell you what it is, because I know what you mean. So, the characters are originally designed by Mashima, and if you look at them in the game, they literally do look like Mashima's characters. The artist for the manga, I think what he's trying to do is, he's done his own mangas before. He's got his own art style. I think he's trying to kind of copy Mashima's style as best he can to try and keep it true to the game. But obviously, he might not have the capabilities to do it one for one. So there's kind of like, there are some aspects where you can be like, oh, this looks like a Mashima pose or a Mashima look, but it's not exactly one for one. I think that might be it, because that's how I felt a little bit.
I feel that way about the female character.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only her. It's like, I'm fine with everybody else.
Yeah, I agree. Dav, any thoughts on the chapter? The first one. I'll talk about the second one right now.
I liked it. It wasn't anything special, but it was kind of the standard shonen opening chapter that you kind of find like a pilot chapter. Kind of gave us everything we needed to know about the world that we're going to be in and the kind of idea of story that we're in for.
Yeah.
I didn't really care for Holland and Isabel, the Guildmaster and the Nightwalker, the bad guys. I made a joke because I was reading it with a friend, and I made a joke. Bet you later down the line in the story, these guys are going to be evil or something. And well, then it happened. I was like, oh. I don't know. I wasn't bothered that it happened, but it kind of felt like, I agree with King in terms of this chapter felt a little bit rushed and that a lot was fit into it. In my mind, it kind of feels like this chapter was like a one-shot chapter. And then while they were writing it, they were like, you know what, we'll make it a full series or however long it's going to be. So it feels like the first chapter was meant to be a full-on one-shot, and that was kind of meant to be it, to like promote the game. But not just, that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. I quite thoroughly enjoyed the character interactions and so on. What's the little one's called? Is it Ruru?
Yeah.
I think so.
She's kind of cute. Reminds me a little bit of Paimon from Genshin. I just hope she doesn't become annoying, but I don't think she will. I like Emma's power, ability, shall I say, with the bow. I've always been a big fan of bows. And we've got little fucking baby Igneel, bruv.
Who's done more than Igneo ever did in the series?
That's what I was saying. Maybe Igneel will finally do something. I've got to admit, that to me, that's the Mashima-esque kind of thing. I like it, but at the same time, I'm hoping that he's not just like a dragon who breathes fire and that's about it. I'm hoping there's a bit more to it, considering that it's a nightmare. Or
What
I
they
think are
call
they all
nightmare.
called nightmares, even if they're not evil?
Yeah, they're just tamed.
Yeah. So considering it's a nightmare, it's obviously got to be some kind of reason for why it's a nightmare. And what I want to know is if Baby Ignil was what was his name? Azel?
Azo.
Azel.
Yeah, whichever. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got what you're saying.
I
Well, the
wonder.
kid's name is Azel. The baby dragon's name is Baby Dragon.
No, we're calling him Ignil. Baby Ignil. What I want to know is, was Baby Ignil created because of Azel's nightmares and that he's overcome it? Or was this a nightmare that he found in the wild and tamed? So that's what I'm interested in. That's kind of why I'm sticking with it, because I actually want to learn about how the nightmares, the tamed ones,
Tamed.
and yeah, I kind of want to
Okay.
know where they come from and how they all work. I don't really care for Azel though as a character himself yet. I don't think he's bad. I just don't care for him. Kind of just reminded me of Edalus Natsu with the sword.
Yeah,
But yeah,
or basically Haru. Yeah.
yeah,
I agree that it felt very Mashima inspired. It really did, from the damsel in distress to the character designs to just everything about him. I don't think that's a bad thing, but at the same time, I just do hope that the mangaka does his own thing, because if not, he's literally gonna live in Mashima's shadow, and that's not a bad thing, but we want him to succeed, right? So it'd be nice if he got his shit together.
yeah. Marshall's name being on it is a curse and a blessing. Curse wise,
Yeah,
because a lot of people see his name and instantly go, "Oh God, it's a sack of shit." And it
that's
hurts the
true.
series. It can, but on the other hand, it does a lot of good for it because there's a lot of Mashing fans who see it and they're like, "Yo, I want to get involved and see what this is."
Yeah,
Um, we just got to see how much influence Mashima's style has over the story. And I'm not talking about art style, I mean actual storytelling. Part of me is hoping that he doesn't have too much influence. I hope he's got a lot of influence when it comes to the ideas, but not necessarily
yeah,
about how it's written. Because
yes,
I'm a little bit worried, considering that it's a game adaptation. Typically, game adaptations into other mediums don't go so well. Manga's a little bit different because they've got a lot more time and they've got a lot more space to work with, so they can adapt more of it properly. Anime versions usually just shit in bed and don't really do too well. So I'm hoping that the manga does do quite well. Someone said that, I think it was Taylor, said that this is going to be following the story of the game, but it's going to be going more in depth. So it's going to be a bit of a slower story, which I don't mind. That's kind of what I'm after. But I'm just
yeah.
hoping we don't have too much Mashima-esque in it, because I have a feeling that if we do, it could hurt the series quite a bit. And for a game adaptation, for promotion of the game, the manga, if it does end up not selling too well, this isn't a case where Mashima's name alone can probably save it from being axed.
Or, yeah, I still don't think it will ever get axed.
I don't think
Because
so either, but it's not safe from it.
yeah, because it's, well, few things. It's a weekly shonen magazine. They hardly ever axe anything. And it's gonna be a only,
It
digital
being
only.
digital really plays in its favor. It
Yeah.
definitely does.
So yeah, okay. Chapter 2. What did you guys think of chapter 2? Just quick little thoughts, King, since you just like
I
the first
mean,
one so much.
sure, nothing happened though. Excuse me.
No, I know, but like, what did you think of the chapter in general, like the art, stuff like that?
Oh, I mean, art was fine, I guess. I thought, what's her face? The girl's little dilemma about maybe not wanting to see her sister felt really forced.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The ending was kind of lackluster. He's just like, "Hey, we're gonna do this," and they're lost on the rooftop. Like, "Oh, which way do we go?" I'm like, it's like another Looney Tunes thing. I don't know. I was very underwhelmed again.
This chapter kind of reminded me of like Fairy Tale Chapter 102 and EDENSZERO Chapter 2 or 3, basically, whereas girl and boy go, the initial problem happens. So the whole salamander situation and the whole Granbo situation, and then they leave, and then they're now wandering around the town, Magnolia or Blue Garden. They go for something to eat, and then one of them says, "Oh, just come with me, and I can help you do what you want to do." And then they go and do it, and yeah, this was a very, very, very Mashima-esque feeling of a chapter, which is why it plays into my fact that I think the first chapter was meant to be an entire one shot before it was changed to becoming a series, because this chapter feels like they kind of threw something together out of nowhere and kind of needed some kind of plot drive.
Yeah. Marissa, well, I'll let you go first.
Kind of cringy for me.
Whatever.
Like, it's kind of cringy for me
Okay.
because
Fair
it was so stereotypical, and like page 14 where like she runs back to her like hotel or whatever. She's just crying, and then her little Rue is just yelling at her. Just meh.
I get it. I going back to what we said, how it feels very Mashima-esque. I do know that I think I read that Mashima did help with the story of the game. So maybe the guy adapting it is literally adapting what Mashima put in the game. And it's like there's only so much he could do without changing it. Right? So maybe that's why it feels so Mashima-esque. But yeah, it felt like a weaker version of EDENSZERO and Fairy Tale. Fairy Tale's Fairy Tale's first chapter, the second half of it, and then EDENSZERO's second chapter. What would you guys give the first two chapters overall?
Probably like a 6 or a 7. It
King.
wasn't anything amazing, but I am intrigued by it.
Fair, King.
I'm not intrigued by it. At best, it has a couple of cute moments. Collectively, 3 out of 10.
Damn.
Yeah.
Marissa.
I just want to learn about the dragon, so I'm gonna say like a 6 again.
Fair. I'll go 6.5. All right. That was our conversations of Gate of Nightmares chapters 1 and 2, and EDENSZERO chapter 1. That
71.
171.
171.
So yeah, we don't have much else. There wasn't a Fairy Tale chapter for us to talk about this week, and there was only one EDENSZERO chapter. So a short podcast today. Hope you guys enjoy it. And where's
Peace.
King for his famous outro?
Or not. That's fine.
Sorry, I was still eating.
No
All
way.
right, go ahead. Your outro.
No, I'm still eating and chewing.
All right, fair enough. All right, guys. We'll catch you on next time. Bye.
Take it easy.
Don't do what King does. Oh, he left.